Hello everyone and welcome to the video. I'm Tragedy Reigns and today you join me for another install video. Today we'll be doing Mega Expanded Stardew 600 Plus. It's a very expansive collection for Stardew Valley. And we'll be showing you how to get that installed nice and easy. So the first thing you want to do is ideally you want to start with a fresh clean install of Stardew Valley. That means deleting any lingering files after a previous uninstall. Also, after uninstalling something, fun fact, you should always reboot your system. This prevents Windows from accidentally reconnecting files that shouldn't be reconnected. They should be regenerated. So, yeah, just fun fact there. Next thing you want to do is have a clean install of Vortex, or at the very least, a fresh managing profile for Stardew. And a little bit of prep for Vortex here is in settings, you will want to enable profile management and just general good modding practice. You'll want to keep the mods, the downloads, the game, Vortex itself. You'll want to keep all of that on the same drive. It saves your computer from having to search around and potentially, not find a file in time and then it says it failed to load. So then the next thing is the download threads. It defaults to 1. If you're a free user, you might be able to turn that up a little bit, but I kind of doubt it. I'm a premium user, so I jack it up to 10. I find that works fine for me. But I've had other premium users tell me that they run at like 3, 5, or 7. It's just whatever works best for you. Okay. And I think that's it for the settings portion. Then in profiles, what you want to do is you want to make a new Stardew Valley profile. You don't want to modify the default profile. In other games with large mod collections, I have had issues where the default profile, for whatever reason, has like serious errors and mods will just not work at all. Some will work wrong. It's an array of bizarre problems, and they can't really be explained by anything, but as soon as you switch to a new profile, they don't exist. So, as far as we know, it has something to do with using the default profile, so we just avoid using the default profile. Alright, so now we're enabled on the new profile, which is what we want. So now I do have, from the previous revision, the mods downloaded, so my install is going to go very, very quickly. It does take a fair amount of time normally, though. Just a bit of a heads up there. So I'm going to go back to the collection page here. And I'm actually just going to double check. I'm pretty sure I've done everything prep-wise that I need to do. Oh no, SMAPI. Okay, so we need SMAPI. That's right. I had that sort of nagging feeling I was forgetting something. Alright, so you'll notice up here it says SMAPI is not installed. So you can click Get SMAPI. It'll download and install SMAPI for you. That's basically what is needed to run mods with Stardew. So it's pretty much needed by everything, almost. But because I have everything downloaded already, I'm actually just going to look for it in here. So SMAPI, it's the right version. I just downloaded it yesterday, so I'm just going to reinstall that. Taking a bit of time. Why does it say the version has something? Oh, it just says no assigned. Okay. Sorry, that's just me getting distracted while I wait for this to finish installing. I don't recall it taking this long before. Oh, there it goes. Alright, I just have to click a little yes box there. Okay, so now we have SMAPI installed, but you'll notice there's still a warning here. Now you could close it, But actually, no, we will close it because I'll show you the other thing that we should do when it comes time to actually do it anyway. So we do have SMAPI installed now. So we can now go back to the page and install the collection. Good thing I checked, because not having that installed first, you can run into problems. Alright, so we'll click Add Collection. It'll open with Vortex. And what it's doing first off is it's downloading a copy of the new revision sort of install instructions. And it will use that to then determine which mods are needed, which ones I have, etc. So it will be a fairly quick process because all the downloads are still there, although you will notice none of them are enabled. I did do a fresh install of Stardew Valley, and then I blanked everything except the Vortex downloads, just so that this process is a bit quicker. Well, actually, it's a lot quicker. So we'll wait for this to start installing. Now, during the install, there are 3 windows that may pop up. One is a standard Vortex window that just says it's got to download something from an off-site, like an off website, so not Nexus. So it'll show you the URL so you can verify if you're okay with it. But as far as I'm concerned, they're all fine that they are going to show you. So you just click continue on that one. That's easy enough. The second one that pops up is a CurseForge window, but you don't actually have to do anything. It just kind of lingers for a little while. But it does then eventually download and everything on its own. So don't go clicking on that one because you might actually mess it up. The third one is a Google Drive download link. So you get a window with like a white section in the middle with the files listed there, so you can like view all the files. But you don't actually download the files through there, so like you don't even need to use that white section. There's a download button in the top right. It's a little arrow pointing down to a line, if I'm not mistaken. So you just click that, and then that will carry on. And then the final window I've gotten is, because I'm a premium user, if for whatever reason Vortex loses the premium login, you'll get a window and it will tell you to go premium. And if you click that and then click refresh your premium status, it will then just continue the installer. Now, mine does appear to have gotten stuck. Not entirely sure why, but I'm going to click up here and have a look. It looks like I just had a total failure to connect properly to their download server, and then it misidentified stuff. Okay. Go downloads. Let's try resume. This is the first time this has happened. Okay, there we go. It worked that time. Okay, so I probably just had a bad connection to the Nexus servers. So anyway, here we are. We can start the install. Just make sure it's going to install to the correct profile. That's the new profile that we made. So I'll click install now. And then, like I said, those windows might pop up during install. They're fairly easy to deal with, but they all look a little bit different. And especially the Google Drive one tends to throw people off. So if anything I haven't mentioned happens, I will be back. But until then, bye for now. Alright, so we've got the collection installed there. So we can just click done. Now this one we've already taken care of, so we can just clear that. Mod rules contain cycles. This is normal. It's usually just fashion sense. You go in here, right click on the line, not the circle, and remove rule. And that fixes that. And deployment interrupted, well, that was because there was a cycle. So we'll go to the mods tab, we'll click deploy, click yes when that pops up. And if you did have any mods that just outright failed to install, the install probably will be sitting at 99% and not complete. Just click the play button again. It quite often will take quite a while for it to finally kick over and get what you need, but that's usually enough to get it going again if that happens. So while this is going on, I'm just going to bring up a couple of windows I've opened here. Okay, so I have these labeled as offsite mods, but they're actually more just manual installs. So these are the mods from the collection page listed down here. So these first mods are part of the collection, but do not get automatically installed because it just doesn't seem to work properly for whatever reason. So we're going to be going through those. I'm just going to pull up a copy of uh, is this? Yeah, this is the one. All right, I've got a copy of it on my second screen. That way I can be in Vortex and folders and stuff. Oh, excuse me. Offset mods. There we go. All right, sorry about the awkward cut there. I have to replace the last portion of the video because I had the wrong folder open originally. So we're at the manual install mods here. So we're going to start off with short grass. It's the first one in the list on the about page. Actually, here, before we get right into it, I am going to pull it up so you can kind of see it in the background. There we go. I'll bring my windows back around. Mods. Offsite. And what was the other one? I thought I had another one open. Okay. So there we go. So we can see the list in the back there. So yeah, we're gonna go in this order here. I've manually numbered the mods after download so that they're easier for me to work with. So we're gonna start with short grass for earthy recolor. All right, and I believe this one is a copy paste directly into the mods folder. Yes, and then there is a setting we have to change in-game, so we'll get around to that when it's time. All right, so that's that one taken care of. Now we'll go into this one here. This is a patch, so this is probably going to need to override. So we're going to have to go find, just to make sure we're in the right places. Sorry if you can hear me sort of half sniffling. I'm trying not to, but I've got a bit of a cold, I think. Okay, so here we go. Canon-friendly dialogue expansion. And that's a data and an I-18 folder. Yep, there's the data folder. So if we go into the data folder, we should see these. Yep, okay. And so this should be good to copy paste over. There we are. So that's that one taken care of. Then the compatibility patches. This is for customized dresser, that's right. So we'll go back to our mods folder. We'll scroll down to customized dresser. Customized dresser. Okay, and under assets, we're just replacing one file in here. So we go Daisy Nyko's earthly interface because that's the one that we're using in the collection, and just copy over and replace that file. All right, and then the next one we're going into is utility pocket. So let's go find utility pocket down here in the list. Utility pocket. Okay, there we go. Okay, so there we go. Oh, shite. Utility pocket, and there we go. And oh wow, I forgot I had all of these open already. Well, whatever. Trying to be prepared and then forgetting you're prepared. Classic. All right, So that you just copy, paste that over, replace. There we go. And then yeah, shop tabs. I keep forgetting I've added these numbers. I've done this a few times now before I had the numbers, and then I was like, oh, I wish I could make this easier. Put the numbers in, and now I'm forgetting I have the numbers. Okay, so shop tabs and assets. This looks right. This looks like all the same files. So copy, replace. There we go. Back to the mods folder. We can close that one. Then we're going to go down to the Bear family portraits. Okay. So we've got to find the, I believe it's just under, I think it's here somewhere, isn't it? Oh, I did find it before, but I can't remember where now. Was it a CP? I don't think it was a CP. It might have been a CP. Let's do a quick check before I run a search. Okay. I was literally just in this folder earlier, so it's very frustrating that I already don't remember where it is. Yeah, I don't know how I couldn't find that. Okay, so then we're in, this is in assets, correct? Yes, assets. So we'll go into assets, and we will just copy paste these over and replace the files. There we go, so that's Bear Family Portraits updated. All right, and actually I'm gonna go use the back function. No, because we don't want the search results. I gotta get before the search results. There we go. There we go. All right, so we are now at farmhouse bathroom recolor. So let's go up to CP farmhouse bathroom. Okay. I believe we're going into the assets folder. Yep. And just copy over that, replace. There we go. Mod compatibility textures. I believe this is for the tractor garage. Yeah. So we're just opening tractor garage, earthy, white. Okay, so we've got to go down to the tractor mod folder. All right, so tractor mod, assets. Oops, I don't need that top one. There we go. So that's those in there. Okay, then we can close that. And then the next one is the immersive saloon. Now, this one, for whatever reason, has started to get flagged as NSFW, which is not safe for work, in case anyone is unfamiliar with the abbreviation. We don't know why. It was fine before, and then just all of a sudden one day, bam, it's marked as an adult mod. So I'm going to be examining that while I play to try and figure out what has gotten it flagged. So just keep that in mind, that we're not sure why that's flagged as adult. So you may want to leave it out if you have any concerns. All right, and now we're going to go into the first part of the optional mods section. So this is the tractor remodel. So if you want your tractor to look a little different, there is some textures in here. And this is once again in the tractor mod folder. So here we go, back into assets. So what you want to do is you want to rename the original tractor file. So I'm just literally going to call it tractor original. And then you can extract these to get a look at them to see what they look like. I know the one I usually go with is tractor M08. So I'm just going to go bring that in there, rename that, and just get rid of the underscore M08 so that it's just called tractor. And that's that one done. Okay. Then we have character portrait mods and character like model mods. I'll be doing those after the next optional mod, just because they take a little more time. So the next optional mod here is clear glasses. This is strictly preference. It does change the appearance of the game. It smooths out edges and makes things maybe a little pasty or cartoony for some people. Personally, I like it, and it does seem to improve performance overall. So I tend to keep it in. So I will be adding that now, um, just because once again it's a little quicker than the character ones. So we'll be adding clear glasses here. And like I said, this one is completely your choice. You can either install or not install. There's no dependency on it at all. It's completely preference. Okay. And then Polyarmory Suite is actually another optional mod. It's for multiple spouses. The only reason I'm going to put it on is because there are so many and I don't want to do that many playthroughs just to find out. Um, So I'm going to be putting it on. And I'm going to show you how to get it set up properly because there is an extra step you have to do. So all right, so let's open Polyarmory Suite. Let's copy that over. Okay, let's close that out. Okay, so let's see. We need to open Earthy Interiors and Polyarmory Suite in File Explorer using this. Okay, so let's search Earthy. Pay no attention to leftover stuff from the previous revisions. I just have yet to purge my downloads folder. Which one am I looking for again? Uh, Actually, which one am I looking for again? Thought it was Earthy something, wasn't it? Earthy. Oh, excuse me. Earthy Interiors. Okay, so CP Earthy Interiors is what we're looking for. Oh, I could not figure that out for the life of me. Okay, so open in File Manager. There we go. All right, and the other one was Polyarmory Suite, which the File Manager won't see because we didn't install it using Vortex. So that one I'm actually just going to go into manually. So yeah, mods folder and offset mods folder. Okay, here we go. So Polyarmory Suite, and it's Polyarmory Suite rooms, maps. Okay, and interiors, assets. And there's 4 files we need to copy over. So that's farmhouse tiles, this one here. Town interior, 1 and 2, and walls and floors. And then you want to copy and then paste. Sorry, brain fart there for a second. And replace the existing files. And there we go. That matches the Polyarmory mod's appearance to the rest of the collection, so there's no like bizarre changing. All right, so that's that taken care of, I believe. All right, so now we'll move on to all of the character mods. So when you first go to the Star Luna page, you'll see all the different characters. We're just looking for Haley, Abigail, and Emily. And that's the same on, I can get back to it. On the Smartichoke page, you'll see a bunch of characters. We're just looking for Emily, Haley, and Abigail on here as well. Okay, so let's get back to my windows. Okay, so we're going to start with Abigail. Alright, and this is under seasonal cute characters, which I believe is a CP. Yes, seasonal cute characters, assets. Okay, so Abigail, assets. Alright, so now we go into characters. Characters, Abigail. Alright, and in the compressed folder that you downloaded, they are sectioned off into different groupings. This is probably to allow more personalization and customization for people. We want all of them, so actually it's slightly inconvenient for us. But that's the modder's choice to do it that way, and I do understand why they did it that way. So like for people who aren't using mods, like mod collections as much as like we are, they may only want, say, specific things changed. So this way they can easily identify and change specific things that they want. All right, so now that we've got all those copied over, we've got to go to portraits. And then we've got to remember to back out of here and go to portraits. Otherwise, you'll wind up replacing files with the wrong files. So now we're in portraits. We go Abigail, and it's the exact same process. And this process is the same for all of the characters for both Starluna and Smartichoke. So after I finish Abigail, I will pause the recording, and I will be back after it's done, and we can move on to the sort of final phases of the install. Oops. There we go. So that's Abigail done for the main mod. So we're going to then open up the one from Smartichoke. This is basically the rest of the set, because there was some basically missing. Or actually, we're already in portraits, so I'll start with portraits. There we go. And these ones are nicely grouped all together, probably because they're meant to complete the set. So once again, same process, you just copy and replace everything. So here we go into characters, Abigail, and copy paste all of that over, replace. All right. Now, why this one looks different, I genuinely have no idea. Like the icon. Sometimes I get thumbnails, a lot of times I don't. So when I do get a thumbnail, sometimes it's just like, did I do something wrong? So if I have messed up, please let me know, but I think I've done everything correctly. Alright, so I'm going to finish up with the characters, and I will be back when I'm done. So I'll see you then. Alright, so we've got all the character mods installed. Sorry about the sudden change in the layout here, so we can read the page easier. So after all of the manual installs are done, one of the changes we have to make ahead of time is we have to go into lifecycle. So in our mods folder here, we're going to open up lifecycle. And this is up to you which ones you get rid of, but I highly recommend you do get rid of one of the options. So you'll notice Emily has 2 here. That can cause problems, so pick whether you'd like her to basically wind up with Clint or Shane. I'm going to get rid of Shane. Then there's Alex and Haley and Leah. I'm going to leave in Haley and Leah because it means I don't have to then disable Ridgeside Rival Hearts to stop Alex from 2-timing. So I'm just going to simply delete that one there as well. And then we don't have a conflict here, and there's no risk of him 2-timing 2 people at the same time, which I assume is going to cause some kind of weird problem in the game's code down the road. So I'll just avoid it actually this time round. I have sort of tested it before, and eventually I found that Alex wasn't where you expect to find him most of the time. Most of the time, I think his AI kind of broke. Um, so let's take a look here. So that's the life cycle change. I knew I was forgetting something else. Mini bars. Okay, so mini bars is referring to the mini health bars, I believe, anyway. That seems to be what's affected when I do this. It might just be me though. Um, so in here, you can actually open this config file in Notepad. And if you find that the mini bars are causing you annoyances during like cutscenes and stuff like that, you can just change show full life to false and then save the file. I like them, so I'm leaving it on. All right, so that's that taken care of. And then I believe the next section involves the game actually being running because we're doing it from within the in-game mod manager. Just gonna quickly browse through the rest of this to make sure. Okay, so yeah, there are some mods that may report that they're the wrong version, but they are in fact updated. I recommend just ignoring them rather than trying to tamper with version numbers. Your load times are going to be lengthy, obviously. We're loading a ridiculous amount of mods. If you do get errors, read them carefully because specifics matter. And there are 2 errors in the SMAPI that you might notice on launch. That's space core and crop growth adjustments for grape sprites. Both of those can actually be safely ignored. They're false positives, basically, that there's a problem. So you can just ignore those. If you do want to disable fence decay, you will have to open the CJB cheats menu using the P key in-game. And you can use that to disable fence decay. Alright, so I'm going to scroll up a bit because there's a section up here that I'm going to attempt to get my computer to record because it usually freaks out and doesn't like me doing this. So it's the to further improve performance section. I am going to try and record this for you, despite many, many thoughts that it's probably not a great idea to try and record because I think it's going to be kind of complicated. But we'll see. So I guess I think we're ready to launch. Wow. Okay. Let's do it. Oh yeah, deployment interrupted. So since that's the only notification I'm getting and it's not saying which cycle, I'm actually just going to close Vortex and then I'm just going to reopen Vortex. If there's a lot of errors or if there's like curious errors or errors you don't think are real, close Vortex and reopen it. It will dump the fake errors. Yeah, this notifications thing is great for spotting fake errors because, like, yeah, like you see, I restarted it and it's just like, no problems, but you do have to restart and install an update. So I tell you what, I'll pause the install, or install, I'll pause the video and I'll be back after the install is done, all right? All right, so there we are. Vortex is up to date. And just because we've made changes outside of Vortex, now that we've relaunched it, I'm going to redeploy mods. This will probably detect some changes. If you get this message, just click cancel because nothing else you do will make any difference. It will just keep popping up. The process does seem to continue. And then when you get this window, just click confirm. It's just acknowledging all the changes we made. Yeah, I've got to click yes on that. Okay, and it should finish deployment. There we go. All right, so now we're going to fire up the SM API. And this is where things could get a bit complicated because I'm going to need to show you this while the game is running. And the computer probably won't like that much. And it's got to be the same screen, I think, too. I don't know if I'm able to easily broadcast one of my other screens without messing something up. But anyway, we should be able to locate SMAPI, but we want to do it in the Details tab. Okay, so we'll scroll down, scroll down, scroll down, scroll down. Stardew Modding API. So there we go. We want to set priority. We want to change that to high. Do not ever use real time. Just little piece of advice there. Never set anything to real time. You will regret it. That's all I can say. If I go too far into it, it's going to turn into a rant. All right. And so what's the next portion of this? Power settings to best performance, which I believe mine is already on for best performance. So let's just search. Edit power plan. Choose power plan. Choose power plan. Let's see. Oh, it is on balanced, and it should not be on balanced. So we want to go high performance, and I'm going to tweak that. Yep, never and never. Okay, so I don't actually need to tweak that. Good. So there we go. We're on high performance. So we can close that one out. What's the next thing we need to do here? It says to keep the zoom level at default or closer, but due to the size of my screen and the 4K resolution, I tend to play all the way zoomed out, but that is not advised if you want to improve performance. Keep your movement speed at default or only slightly above. This is done in the in-game mod manager. You can also sort of accommodate for this by adjusting time speed, which will increase or decrease the length of time of days. It basically changes the rate of time flow. But with time speed, I have noticed it can really mess up certain events, especially if you change it while in your file. You should change it from the main menu and keep in mind that certain events might stop triggering simply because the NPC's AI is working on a different schedule, which seems odd because most of the AI actually works fine if you adjust the speeds. But I have noticed with regards to the events, things can get a little scroogey. So the next thing is, it says to play on full screen. Sadly, trying to record, I am unable to play in full screen. Otherwise, this is as far as Stardew will record. If it's full screen, it stops here. The audio continues, and then if I quit the game, the video will continue. But in full screen, it simply will not record Stardew beyond this point, and I don't know why. The Stardew Valley expanded Frontier Farm has mod options that can improve performance as well, such as disabling mist or using lower memory. I have the ability to support higher memory usage and the mist, so I don't disable those, but by all means, go in and disable those. And keep in mind that at 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. in-game, you should probably expect a bit of lag, because that's essentially the main time when NPC schedules change. So you're having a whole bunch of AI suddenly trigger. So you may get some lag at those points. Okay. And then if you get any load order issues, there is a load order section on the About page. I'm not going to go through it. You shouldn't have any load order issues. After install, if you do have the Fashion Sense cycle, just open it and then right click on the line, not on the circle, on the line, and remove rule, and that just solves that, and then you can deploy your mods fine. If you get an error involving a mod called seed bag, go into the mods folder and delete the source folder, and then the error should be gone. Basically, I think it registers both folders as the same thing, and it doesn't know how to handle it. And then, yeah, okay, then we're on to in-game mod manager changes. So, yeah, let's go back over here, and it looks like it did record everything without too much freaking out. Sorry if there was a bit of a gap in the audio there. Switching to and from Stardew causes a bit of a lag sometimes. All right, so before we click new or anything like that, we need to open this, and here we are in the mod configuration. All right, so the first one I'm going to do so that I don't forget is, oh, where did I find this before? It's the Daisy Nyko's Earthy Recolor, but I think I have to find it in here and disable grass, but I couldn't find it before, and now I don't remember where I found it. Oh, is this it? Is this it? Oh, no, that's not it, is it? Ah, I thought that was it. Womp womp. Alright, I guess I'll pass on that for now, because I think eventually it just kind of occurred to me while going through the rest of them. Okay, so I'm gonna... Oh, God, I hate that sound. Alright, so the first one I'm gonna modify here is Alec Revisited. So we're gonna go with full beard, new hair, revised art. That's what's recommended. That's what we're going with. Alright, then it's alternative textures. I wish I could disable just that sound. Actually, you know what? The game is a lot louder than most things I do on the computer, so you might actually be getting feedback from that, I just realized. At least the game music wasn't on. So then in alternative textures, you want to make sure that flooring, furniture, object, and building are in fact off. That's because it randomly samples a texture as you place, and so it's very hard to get like consistency in paths and stuff like that. So just make sure you turn that off if you don't want sort of random patchwork stuff going on. Next is animated rings pack. There it is. Okay, and we need better rings. Save and close. Custom NPC paintings. Okay, let's go check that out. Custom NPC paintings. Open customizer. I'm setting it to a mouse button. Specifically thumb button 4, which gets listed as X2. You can use pretty much any key you like, but because there are so many hotkeys for other mods in that, I use a button that typically doesn't appear for everybody, so it's not often used as a default. And then save and close. Then we've got... Never did find that one. Event limiter. Okay, event limiter. We'll go back to that one that I never... Oh, is this it here? That's what it was. It's not listed as Daisy Nyko's. It's just listed as Earthy Recolor here. That's what threw me off. Okay, there we go. We got it. Alright, so event limiter. Alright, events per day. You want that to at least 6. I'm just... You know what? Let's just go 6. Events in a row. I'm going to leave that at 2. In my personal file, I change a lot of stuff that I probably shouldn't. So yeah, your first time round, I recommend going with the recommended settings. Don't do any tampering that I might be tempted to do on your first time. Okay. Oh, fishing made easy. That's the next one. Yeah, that's right. So fishing made easy, and we need to be able to recatch legendary fish. That is something you're going to need. Otherwise, you're going to get a quest or something that says, "Oh, I need you to catch like 4 of these," and you're going to be like, "But I can't." So turn that on. Um, Growable forage and crops. Okay, here we go. And anything labeled bush, turn off. This is to avoid a bug with the T-bush. I personally have no idea what that bug actually is. I've just always turned off the bushes, and I've never run into problems. Okay, and save and close. And we've got immersive family. And with immersive family and immersive children, these other settings, if you're changing them, you do want to make sure that you change them before you load your file, not in-game. If you do that, you could completely bork your save. And you want to make sure that you know what your settings are in an existing file. Because trying to load in with different settings can also bork your file. Alright, then we got integrated minecarts. Now this is another one that I don't actually change. If you don't want the minecart on your farm, just disable that. The first one right there, jibs.farm. Disable that, no minecart on your farm. And obviously there's a fair bit of customization with this one. That's up to you if you want to try mucking about with it. Again, I don't really recommend it on your first time. Then we've got Luna Astray, which is a nice simple one. We just go in and click seasonal outfits and then click save and close. Okay, after Luna, we've got, yes, seasonal cute characters, and we have to disable Sam. Seasonal cute characters, because there's a much more preferred, I'll say, Sam mod that should be taking over, but this one will override it. Oh, my mouse is glitching out. There we go. Cuter Sam. Let's disable that and save. Then we've got simple foliage. Okay, and in simple foliage, we need to disable pink trees, and we need to change Whitley to earthy, because obviously with all the other mods we've seen, we know we're using earthy. Okay, so save and close that. Save and close that, thank you. Again, mouse glitching a bit, I'm not sure why. Then the return of immersive sprinklers. Now this one I find the default keys work. Pick up with E, activate with enter. If you're picking up with E, I think you have to be next to it and moused over it. If you're activating it with enter, you just have to be moused over it. So as long as you can see it, you're able to cause it to spray water. That way you can like put a sprinkler down and make it water in the same day. And then obviously the show range key. So we'll save that. Then we've got unique gift dialogues. And we want to scroll all the way to the bottom. And similar to the seasonal cute Sam, disable Shane's alcohol lines because there are other mods that sort of work better with the rest of the collection. So let's save that. Okay, and so then I just wanted to re-mention, once you start a file, you're able to access CJB cheats menu with P and disable fence decay if you don't want fence decay. And there's another mod, housewarming gifts. It gives a bunch of free items regularly to the player, I think just for the first year. But very early on, you get 5 iridium sprinklers, and a lot of people think that that's very unbalanced and broken. It's meant for like players that have played quite a lot of Stardew and just want to get going quicker. So if it bothers you, you can either just discard the sprinklers, disable the mod. It's up to you how you want to sort of deal with it. I personally like it because I hate how much time, especially early game, you wind up spending on your crops, like with a small watering can and that. So, yeah. So you're actually ready to start a file now. I'm going to take a short break before I continue the recording and do a launch because oh, that probably lagged there. So I'm going to postpone doing a game launch because I want to actually show you also how to transfer your Vortex installed mods to Stardrop, which is the other vastly recommended mod manager for Stardew Valley. It was made specifically for Stardew Valley. So I will be showing you that in just a minute. So I'll be back in a little while.